This program is designed for everyone who works in the horticultural industry. Watch carefully. It shows you what to look out for and how to behave whilst you're at work. Over 50 people a year are killed because of activities at work in agriculture and horticulture. Many more are seriously injured. That's why it is important to take notice of the rules and guidelines that are designed to help people in the horticultural industry stay safe and healthy. You have a duty to look after your own safety and that of others. You must report any health and safety concerns you may have to your manager or supervisor. Also, there is a need to report ill health for food safety and hygiene reasons. The rules are there to protect you. Listen, learn and obey them to stay safe and healthy at work. Accident reporting and first aid. When accidents happen, you need to know what to do. Make sure you know who you should call for first aid, where the first aid point is situated, who you should report it to, whether you should call the ambulance, fire or police, what to do if you're on your own, how to make contact with your employer or supervisor. Your employer may need to report some accidents to the authorities. Signs. Signs are there to inform or warn about possible dangers. Be aware about the different types of signs. Check all the signs around you carefully. Make sure you know what they mean. Don't ignore them. They are there to keep you safe and healthy. Hygiene. Good health and hygiene are important for the production of safe, fresh produce and to keep you healthy at work. Make sure you wash your hands properly after using the toilet, before starting or returning to work, before and after eating, drinking or smoking. Wet hands with clean warm water. Apply soap and work up a lather. Clean under your nails and between your fingers, like this. Rub the fingertips of each hand in suds on the palm of the opposite hand. Rinse under clean running water. Dry your hands carefully with a single-use towel. Only drink water from taps marked suitable for drinking, or drinking water or bottled water, or from a marked dispenser. Remember, if you are at work and you feel ill, tell your supervisor. If you are handling food crops and you have a stomach upset, you should not return to work until you are completely recovered. Manual handling. Everyone thinks they know how to lift and carry, but if you do it incorrectly, you can end up with back pain, aches and sprains. It's not just a question of heavy weights. There is no maximum weight mentioned in legislation. The size of what you are lifting, the shape, how you grip it, and how often you have to carry can have an impact. Also, take care with equipment such as Danish trolleys, particularly when loading, unloading, or dismantling. Repeating the same movement over and over again can cause problems. Ensure you take rests and breaks to allow your body to recover. If you have to use force or stretch out to reach, this can cause problems too. Manual handling is concerned with pushing, pulling, and supporting loads as well as lifting them. Slips, trips and falls. Slips, trips and falls cause many serious injuries. Being aware of your surroundings and taking that little extra care will help you keep out of danger. When you come into a building from outside, make sure you clean the mud off your boots to avoid slipping. Make sure all working areas are free from obstruction, such as trailing cables, tools or pallets. Clean any floors that may be slippery. Don't forget the stairs. These should be in good repair with an abrasive strip to avoid slipping. The handrails are there to keep you safe. Make sure you use them. Take care on slippery or wet floors. Take note of temporary warning signs. Everyone thinks they know how to climb a ladder, but falls are very common. Falls from even a low height are high risk as they can cause severe injury. Follow these rules to make working safer at height. Never work from a ladder if there is a safer way of doing the job. Make sure it is stable and set at a safe angle. Extend the ladder to at least 1 meter above where you want to reach. It will give you better support. Tie it at the tops, sides or foot to make sure it is secure. Before you climb the ladder, make sure it is safe. Use both hands to grip, never use damaged or homemade ladders, and never place a ladder where there is any danger of moving vehicles or electricity lines. Working in remote places. Avoid working alone. If you have to work in remote places, you should always try to work with a colleague. If it is necessary to work on your own, tell your supervisor before you go, when and where you are going, and report back on your return. When working remotely, always carry communication equipment, a mobile phone, a CB radio or a bleeper, so you are able to alert someone if you get into difficulties. Cold storage. If you work in cold conditions, including cold stores, you should wear several layers of clothing and gloves to keep your fingers warm. Make sure that you can move freely in this extra clothing and that you are able to do the work comfortably. Take regular breaks in a warmer area and have warm drinks. On some sites, you may be asked to work in specialised areas, such as cold or controlled atmosphere storage. Always follow the guidance given by your supervisor. If in doubt about any work, you must ask. Protective clothing. Employers must provide protective clothing for you. If you are provided with protective clothing, wear it. If you have long hair, tie it back to avoid problems or tuck it under a cap. Don't wear jewellery. It could get caught up in machinery or could be a potential contaminant in food. If you are out in hot weather, make sure you protect yourself from sunburn and drink water to maintain concentration and reduce dehydration. Electricity. The first and most important thing to remember is never use any electrical equipment unless you have been trained and authorised to do so. Use plugs and fittings that are strong and suitable. Protected cables are designed for the wet and damp conditions often found in the horticultural industry. Switch off power tools and sockets before you plug in. Always make sure you use a circuit breaker. When you have to use an extension lead, make sure that it is in good condition and is positioned where it won't be damaged and won't cause any danger to others. Unplug appliances before cleaning or making adjustments. Inspect all portable tools before you use them, including any that are borrowed or hired. Poorly maintained electrical installations, handheld equipment or extension cables can cause accidents or fires. For example, a broken casing on a power drill could lead to someone receiving an electric shock. If you suspect any electrical tools are faulty, don't use them. Tell someone that there is a problem and put the tools away in a secure place for mending. Any equipment you use should have been tested. This sticker shows when the last test took place and when the next test is due. On the farm, watch out for overhead power lines. You don't even have to make contact with them. For example, irrigation pipes can allow electricity to jump the gap. Watch out for warning signs. Never store machinery against overhead line towers or poles. If you are careful to follow these rules, you should stay safe. But what should you do if someone near you receives an electric shock? Don't touch them before you disconnect the power source. Turn off the power first and then take care of them. Follow these rules to keep safe when working with electricity. Fire. Wherever you work, you need to know what to do if there is a fire. Check out where the fire instructions are kept on your farm, listen to instructions about your own site, and find out where the fire extinguishers are kept. If you are inside, check for the nearest fire exit and make sure it is kept clear. If you spot a fire, get out of the area affected, then tell your manager. Hazardous substances. Detergents, disinfectants, bleach and chemicals can be dangerous. Don't handle them unless you have been trained and authorised to do so. You need to hold a certificate to handle and use these substances. Containers of hazardous substances should be locked away and stored safely and securely where children can't reach them, and they can't harm the environment. Read the labels and make sure you know what these hazard signs mean. Always wash your hands after handling any chemicals or chemical containers before eating, drinking or smoking. Irritant plants. Some flowers and plants can cause rashes and itches. If you are provided with gloves, make sure you wear them. If your skin is affected, tell your supervisor. Insects and bee stings. If you are stung or bitten by an insect, seek first aid to alleviate the pain and in case you suffer an allergic reaction. Heat and sunshine. Working in the heat, either outside or inside, can be very tiring. Working in a glass house on a hot, sunny day can cause you to become dehydrated. Make sure you go outside or move to another building during your breaks and drink plenty of water during your break times. Only drink from designated drinking water points. Look for signs. Don't go swimming in lakes or streams to cool off. Water may be deeper than you think. When you are working outdoors, make sure you protect yourself from the sun. Wear a hat, stay covered and use sunscreen. And when you have a break, drink plenty of water. Tractors and vehicles. Tractors and vehicles are an important part of farming, but they can also cause injury. In your job, you may have found yourself transported around the site by vehicles, or you may have to watch out as vehicles pass through with other workers. Do not ride on the tractor drawbar or hang from the tractor or trailer. Always ride in the minibus or other vehicle provided. Always be aware of moving vehicles. Make sure you know which way they are heading and keep out of the way. Always walk on the designated pedestrian areas where they are marked. They are there for your safety. Not all vehicles have reversing alarms. You can't rely on your hearing. Make sure you watch carefully to see if a vehicle is moving before you go anywhere near it. Remember, you may see the vehicle, but the driver may not always be able to see you. Only use a tail lift mechanism if you have been authorised and trained to do so. All drivers must be properly trained, and no unauthorised people should ever be allowed to drive vehicles on the farm. Machinery. Many tasks on the farm involve machinery. Accidents can happen because people are using the wrong machinery for the job, or they may not be properly trained in how to use the equipment. Never use machinery unless you are trained and authorised to use it. Safety guards are designed to do what they say, to keep you safe. If you are operating machinery with safety guards, make sure you always use them. Report missing, damaged or defective guards. If you are working near machinery, make sure you know what the machine will do. Get to know warning signs and signals before you start work. Know what will be expected of you and what others will do, especially the driver. Power take-off shafts have been involved in many fatal injuries. You will find them on moving machinery, but also on static machinery such as circular saws. Do not work near or try to adjust PTO shafts. Only approach if the machine is switched off and you are supervised. This is the sort of machinery you may be using as part of your daily work. If you do use machinery, you must be properly trained to use it. Make sure you never use machinery if you are tired, distracted, or feel you don't have enough experience. Never take risks with machinery. Before you start any machine, you need to know how to stop the machine. Always start from the correct position. Make sure all guards are fitted and working correctly. Check that the area around the machine is clean, tidy, and free from obstructions. If a machine isn't working properly, tell a supervisor immediately. Do not try to repair it by yourself. Noise. Sometimes working in a horticultural unit can be noisy. High noise levels can cause permanent hearing damage. You may not even be aware of the problem until it is too late and your ears are damaged. When you are in noisy places, you should see this sign. It instructs you to wear your ear protectors. Repeated or prolonged use of vibrating tools can also be bad for your ears. Remember, if you have to shout to be heard, then you need to wear ear protection. Use of knives. Take great care when handling knives. Cut the crop plants in the way you are shown. Don't wave the knife about near others. Hand the knife back to your supervisor at the end of the day or the shift. Supervisors will be responsible for sharpening knives. Take care when receiving knives or passing knives to other people. Always use the handle, not the blade. Protected cropping. If you are working in glass houses, there are some important safety messages to remember. Working in a glass house on a hot sunny day can cause you to become dehydrated. Make sure you go outside or move to another building during your breaks and drink plenty of water at break times. Don't fool around when you are working inside a glass house. Glass can easily break and cause injury and damage. Remember your surroundings and be careful when handling tools and machinery in a glasshouse environment. Make sure that you are aware of irrigation pipes and low-level heating pipes. Never climb on the roof of a glasshouse. If you see broken glass, tell your supervisor. The supervisor is responsible for clearing up broken glass and making sure that any glass has been removed from food crops. Never handle broken glass yourself. Take care in the glasshouse. There are lots of sharp corners and surfaces to watch out for, so make sure you keep yourself safe. You should also take care when working near boilers and pipes that may become hot. If you become overheated, take a break in a cooler area and drink plenty of water. Don't touch the boiler or the pipes, as you may receive a burn. Take care when working with or near any gas or fuel-powered equipment. Check that the area is ventilated and that fresh air can flow into the area. Only use such equipment if you are trained and authorized to do so. Do not smoke or introduce naked flames for any reason. If you smell gas or suspect another problem, turn off the gas supply and tell your supervisor. Don't alter settings on thermostats or interfere in any way unless you are trained and authorized to do so. Further information on health and safety can be obtained from the Health and Safety Executive on the following website: www.hse.gov.uk. Summary. The way to stay safe and healthy at work and avoid accidents is to follow the rules and guidelines. This program is designed to make you aware of some of the important hazards and dangers at work. If you have any questions or problems, please ask your supervisor for more information. Remember, the rules are there to protect you, so don't ignore them. You are your own safety manager, so learn the skills to look after yourself. This program has been designed to help people in the horticultural industry to stay safe and healthy at work. We realise that there is a lot to remember, but it is important to know what to look out for and understand why it is important to follow the rules and guidelines that apply to your own area of work. Once you've watched the program through from start to finish, we suggest that you go through each section and double check that you understand the health and safety issues for each different area. Make sure you watch the program regularly to remind yourself of the important rules and guidelines. We hope that this program has shown you why health and safety is so important in the horticultural industry. Wherever you are working, remember to take time to look around carefully to make sure you are fully aware of the health and safety issues before you start work. Remember, the rules are there to protect you. Listen, learn and obey them to stay safe and healthy at work.